Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing our weekly Pokemon market analysis where we look at all Sword and Shield booster boxes and Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, and we correlate prices and values between TCG Player and eBay and see what they look like, right? I think today we're going to be seeing a lot of product being bought up. We're going to be seeing sales increase, but we're not only going to see that, we're going to be seeing the value of a lot of products starting to take off because of the sales that are occurring in the current time. We're starting to see somewhat of a resurgence, right? People are starting to have confidence in the hobby once again. It could have just been simply that it was the holidays. People were spending more money on their families, whether it be presents or maybe they went away for the holidays. I mean, I can simply tell you that my bank account is still recovering from the expenses during Christmas. So I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people, most of you out there that can probably relate. And for that reason, if we look at it in a mass, as a whole country, even, uh, most people probably did the same thing. But yeah, guys, before we get to it, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Every little bit helps. As always, the Discord is down in the description. You guys can all join if you want, if you like. Just trying to create that community there and just trying to have some fun. And I'm also always there as well. You know, you can always reach me. But yeah, guys, let's get to it. The first box we're going to be looking at is, of course, Phantasmal Flames. And even though Phantasmal Flames was doubted by many, talked about how it was going to crash just because of that second wave. And on top of that, like I said before, it was the middle of the holiday season. I mean, and we know that there was going to be a cool down period. And we did see the box drop down to like $215. We did see some sales at $200 at some point. A lot of people were getting these box from vending machines, probably hopped on TCG Player and on eBay and just offloaded them right away. Instant money glitch, I guess you could say. Get the box for 160, sell it for 200, 220, and you make yourself a little profit within probably minutes, right? But the box is now back up to $237, back up from 215. And you can see here as the price started to come down, sales started to increase just at the end of December here. But it is Phantasmal Flames. It is really new. Once again, we are seeing that a lot of these boxes are being bought in vending machines. And that, of course, is going to take away from the sales on TCG Player and on eBay. So even though it may look like it has slowed down on TCG Player and on eBay, in reality, it hasn't actually slowed down. People are still buying this box on other locations outside of these two websites. But we are still going to look on eBay and see what's happened here in the last few days. As of today, we had a sale at $233. Uh, Basically market price, so it does correlate there. But we did see some others here at 215 with $12 delivery below market. Another one at $190 with a $6 delivery fee. Another one at 220 on bids with $20 delivery, basically at market. But of course, as always, we can still see that eBay can provide you with some nice sales out here. $230 here, $230 there with $22 delivery. But of course, prices are still fluctuating. We're having some sales below market, some sales above market. I think that a lot of the hype, a lot of, I don't know, the talk over the internet that makes people believe that Phantasmal Flames is not a pickup, not a great buy at the moment. Uh, that may be wrong, right? I mean, even myself, I was hoping for the box to get even cheaper than what it was, but that has clearly stopped. The dip on the product has slowed down. It is starting to climb back up. And it makes you wonder whether you may or may not miss out on a product like Phantasmal Flames, even though the set is not a big set, has probably the best Charizard ever made. And I think that when you have a card like that, it's going to speak volumes because that doesn't always come around, right? We're going to keep getting new set on top of new set every 2 or 3 months. And it's not likely that you're going to get a card that you could say is the best ever made of whatever Pokemon is out there. You typically will have a hard time finding something like that, and I think that the Charizard has successfully done that, in my opinion. And if not, it's probably in competition with whatever else may be the top Charizard ever made. So I think that's something important to keep in mind moving forward. I think Phantasmal Flames will do really well in the long term. Moving on, Mega Evolutions Enhanced Booster Box. Once again, another box that's being found in vending machines, but it is a really, really deep set. It has popular Pokemon in it: the Lucario, the Gardevoir, the Latias, the Venusaur, the Absol, um, which look amazing in my opinion. The box is at $230. It has been continuously dropping down. It's starting to settle around that $230 mark. And once again, like I was saying before, sales may seem like they're diminishing for a product like this, just like Phantasmal Flames, but they are appearing in vending machines. So it takes away the necessity of somebody trying to buy this box or needing to buy this box on a website like TCG Player for market price when they could just get it from a vending machine at MSRP. So keep that in mind. We don't know for how much longer we're gonna be getting these boxes at vending machines. I don't have access to a vending machine in New York, but for those that do, they don't need to buy from here, and I think that's a very, very big deal and very, very important to keep in mind. This is the non-enhanced box sitting at $254. And in the US, unlike the UK, it is a bit more scarce of a product. And the box is starting to pick up. It was down at 230. It is now back up to $254. I don't think that this is the superior product between the two. I think that this product is the lesser of the two, if anything. But scarcity seems to be a big factor when it comes to buying some of these boxes, because we are in the US and they have not been here in abundance. But I think that the scarcity isn't realistic because once again they are in the UK market in abundance. So keep that in mind. Looking on eBay, we're seeing sales basically at market. $230 here, $230 again, and these are sales as of today. We do have another one here at $280 as of today as well above market price. Another one at 245, 225, and 240. I mean, yeah, we're really seeing that the prices are correlating with eBay, and we're seeing that it really isn't changing. You're not finding much of a discount when it comes to this box on eBay, and usually that's why you would come to eBay. That's what I would typically come for here for. I come here for the images. I want the top tier product. I want it in the best condition possible, and I want a deal, right? I want some kind of a deal, whether it be on auction or maybe some kind of a listing that somebody put out there and they want to get rid of really quickly. There was a case that sold from Probestein for basically $1,500, putting each box at about $250, which is not bad. That is not an insane sealed premium there whatsoever for Mega Evolutions. Uh, Considering where it's at $230, I think that's not bad whatsoever. I think not so long from now, this box will be back up to $250. I think this sale right here was a big W, considering the fact that most sealed cases have a sealed premium, which I'm not very fond of in reality because one day you'll unload this and you will probably have to sell them one at a time, because the more expensive a product is, the harder it is going to be to move. It all depends on your time frame and how patient you really are. Next, Black Bolt and White Flare. Both products, insane set values. I made a video about this before. Set values are insane. The only sets out there that have a higher set value is probably Prismatic Evolutions when it comes to the Scarlet and Violet era. But the box is not in high demand. We are seeing some sales that they have increased in December, but the value of the box is still sitting where it has been for a good while in the mid 80s at about $83 right now. And White Flare has basically done the same thing. It has been at about $75 to $80 for some time now, and it is still at $80.10. So they're both really, really doing the same thing. Will the market start finally valuing this product later on this year? We don't know. It is still a really new product. We have not had reprints hit the market for a lot of these new products, and they may drop in value even further when the time comes because there's no way that you could think that we're not going to at least get one or two reprints for all of these new products. I don't doubt that whatsoever. Next, Destin Rivals. Still sitting at basically $400. Saw a sale today of $340. Very rare though to see a sale of $340. It has been consistently selling at about $400 for some time now. It has creeped above 400, if anything. It is Destin Rivals' best set in the Scarlet and Violet era, at least best booster box set in the Scarlet and Violet era. And it is deemed by many, by most, if not all, that it will be the top performing booster box in all of Scarlet and Violet. And that alone is holding this box up in value. Now, we haven't had a reprint of this box either, right? And this box will be rotating out in 2028. Keep that in mind. It is not in that same block as Prismatic Evolutions, where Prismatic Evolutions will rotate out next year, April in 2027. This box will rotate in 2028, leaving a lot of time available for this box to get reprinted. And, with the conversation of that printing facility, it is well within that window where it can get printed to the ground. We will have to see what happens. I know people are doubtful that that will happen, but I think, if anything, people are more hopeful that that won't happen because they want this product to stay in value for so long, but so quickly. And I think Destin Rivals has room to drop down to at least $300, giving us better entry points, because where you want the value to come in for this box is it in a few months. And it's not going to happen in a few months. What you want, the real value you want for this box, is for it to come in 3 to 5 years. So getting an entry point right now, a better entry point right now, is what you actually want. Even if you already have some of this box, you probably want more at a better entry point so that 3 to 5 years down the line, you can find some success with this box. Next, we're going to be looking on eBay for Distant Rivals, and we saw a sale as of today, $410, $12 delivery, above market. Really nice condition on the box, though. So it's really what you want. And I don't think we're going to see too many discounts on eBay. We have one here at $410, even with the horrible condition of the plastic, like that stretched out plastic, which is what you don't want. Boxes are still selling even with plastic like that, with the wrapping like that, in that condition. $400 here again, with $7 delivery, and another here that I would not have the most confidence in at $190. But once again, $400 is where we're really at, regardless of where you look for. So the prices do correlate between eBay and TCG Player. You're not finding a discount on eBay. You'd have to get really, really lucky. So keep in mind, you may have to look locally, make some kind of a trade or some kind of a deal with others on maybe Facebook, so that you can find yourself at a better entry point if we don't have reprints at the moment. Next, we're going to be looking at Journey Together. Journey Together Enhanced Booster Box is, once again, another box that is out of that reprint window that's going to come out in 2027. This box also will go out of rotation in 2028. And even though we haven't had a reprint of this set, some people are doubtful that we're going to get the reprint for this either, just because it's not a very highly desired product. And Pokemon tends to reprint products that are more desired than others. So I guess you could be hopeful that scarcity is a thing for Journey Together. It is a smaller set. It does get talked about badly for, in my opinion, no reason. There are some really nice cards in there. The Lily Fairy, the Salamis in there. The Zoroark is really nice. The Whale Lord, the Articuno. I think there are some really nice cards in there, in my opinion. But the box did drop down to $225. It is starting to head back up to $235. Journey Together, I think it's going to be a sleeper set, especially if it doesn't get reprinted. But I am doubtful that it won't. I think that it will get a reprint at some point. At least one wave of reprints, even though it is not very highly desired. The non-enhanced box, just like the Mega Evolution box, is scarce in the US, and for that reason, you have this sense of scarcity with this product, and it has started picking up since the end of November up until now. Value starting to increase for the box, so have the sales, and so I think that the sense of scarcity for this box is driving that right there. But I think that we may be seeing once again some reprints on this box, and I think we may get some boxes to come over from the UK because they're more valuable here than they are there. Now, looking on eBay for Journey Together, we did see this sealed case sell for $1,550, which I once again don't think is a bad purchase. Looking at where these boxes were for some time now at $250 per box, I do not think that is a bad price point for Journey Together to be at. And that would only give you a $50 steel premium on the box right here for the Journey Together enhanced booster boxes. I don't think it's a bad price point to be at, to be honest. So not a bad deal right there. We do have another enhanced box here that sold for 254 as of today. As of yesterday, though, you had one sell for 230, which is the non-enhanced box. Though you had an enhanced booster box that sold for 220, and another one that sold for $235. And for a box like Journey Together, where it gets such a bad rap, in my opinion, like I said, for no reason, on eBay you will find sales because word travels and people follow hype all the time, and it will influence sellers on eBay to sell for a much cheaper price, like $220 here. But we're seeing other sales at 250 again, 254, and another one here at 220. So you are seeing that prices are fluctuating on eBay for Journey Together. So prices may not exactly correlate between eBay and TCG Player. You are going to see somewhat of a price discrepancy when you look through sales and listings. So I would say that eBay would be a place for you to buy when it comes to Journey Together. You get to see the product as always. I love seeing the images as opposed to not being able to see what I'm getting in the mail and then just getting it and being stuck with it. I don't think that's the way to go. So keep that in mind for Journey Together. You can find better sales and at least images with pretty decently looking product. Next, we're going to be looking at Prismatic Evolutions. Prismatic, of course, we do know that it got printed to the ground, like smashed to the ground earlier last year. And now that the box did drop down to $112, at $108 actually for a day when it dropped on Sam's Club, boxes and sales themselves, the sales increased, value increased. It is now back up to $124. Prismatic Evolutions could potentially be the best investment you could possibly make this year, since it is the last box, the last product set that's part of that block that's going to rotate out in April of 2027 and will not be out or potentially not be out while that facility is done printing. I think Prismatic Evolution is going to be out of that print window for that new printing facility. And once again, total set value for Prismatic is number one in Scarlet and Violet. It's got some insane stuff in the set. So the potential of a God Pack, the popularity of the evolutions is just top tier. Looking on eBay though, we did see some sales. The box here, you have a lot of 10 right here that sold for $1,200. 10 ETBs for $1,200. That's each ETB for $120. $120 per an ETB. I don't think it's such a bad play, especially for a case or a lot of 10. Not so bad, in my opinion. Prismatic Evolutions, once again, like I said, probably one of the best investments you can make in the year of 2026. Another sale here at 112 with $18 delivery, 102 with $12 delivery, and just a continuation of that price value of about $120 or more for Prismatic Evolutions. At the current moment, those discounted prices that we saw earlier that I kept preaching at $100, $105 are not currently here at the moment because there's so much support for Prismatic Evolutions, so much belief in this set, and I don't doubt it whatsoever. I think Prismatic Evolutions is going to be a clear winner in the long term. Next, we're looking at the Prismatic SPC. And even though I love this product, I think it's a great top tier product. I think it's going to be similar to the 151 UPC in the long term. But I do believe that this is not a product you should be buying on TCG Player. And we're seeing here that as the product dropped in value, the sales have increased, but the price for the product has continued to decrease. Now, keep in mind, you can actually buy this product on GameStop's website right now. Like, I can actively go right now, see it on GameStop, which they stopped selling product online, but they have this product back listed online so that it gets shipped directly to your home for $200. And if you're a GameStop member, if you're a pro member, you're going to get it for $190, which is about $40 at a minimum. If you're a pro member, $50 below market price from GameStop directly from their website. Not only that, we're expecting this product to hit Costco at $90 per item. So keep that in mind. I think TCG Player is a place where you will not be trying to buy this from, or you should stay away from, at least until Costco hits. You buy from there, and the stock from GameStop runs out, because of course it is just cheaper there. And why would you spend an additional $40 to $50 on this product? It just doesn't make any sense, right? But we're gonna look on eBay because the product is still moving, just like we're seeing on TCG Player. People are buying, people are still buying on eBay as well, and we're seeing sales at $235 to $240, and 225 with $10 delivery, 236 with $12 delivery. Once again, $40 to $50 more than when you'll buy it on GameStop right now at this very second. You can go right now, go to GameStop.com, look up the box, and you can see it there for $200. So yeah, prices are very similar to what we're seeing on TCG Player. They do correlate, but it's just a bad time to be buying on eBay or TCG Player for this product. It just would be a huge mistake for anyone. Moving on, Surging Sparks. Uh, Clear winner, in my opinion. It was a great time to buy not too long ago when people were buying these boxes at $200, 210, 215. Was a clear buy, and it's so funny because when the boxes are available in abundance, nobody wants to buy. People stay away. Surgeon Sparks is there available at that price, and they're still looking elsewhere, right? They're still looking elsewhere because it's like there in their face, and they don't want to buy it. People want to buy when the product is not available, which is the funniest thing to me. It is a bad way to be looking at these products. But you know, you make your choice. The box is back to $250. It is a very good product. The set is stacked. The Pikachu, whether you like it or not, is incredibly valuable at a PSA 10. The Latias is really nice. The Milotic, the Cerulege in there, Executor. There's just so many nice cards in this set, and it's much deeper than most people want to make it seem like it is. So it's a great set in my opinion. Great long-term hold. Looking on eBay, $239 with $10 delivery. Another one here at $230 with basically $8 delivery. And a sealed case for $1,550. Same price as you saw that Journey Together sealed case sell for. But I much rather have Surging Sparks. It is a much better set, a much deeper set. There's more value in the set for the same price as what this case sealed for. Big W in my opinion. Great product to buy and a long-term hold. So I think Surging Sparks is going to surprise people in the long term. I think it gets downplayed so much because people want to talk about Prismatic all the time, which is a great set. But they want to talk about all these other sets as if these sets aren't good. You know, I can understand wanting the top tier product, but it doesn't change the fact that there's going to be a huge upside to the other products that are second or third to the leading products in that era, right? So there's nothing wrong with looking past Destined Rivals right now, saying, hey, Destined Rivals may be too expensive for me at $400. We'll look at Surging Sparks at $250 that is still going to do really well in the long term. Why not look at this product right now and just hold? Next, Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown, $257. It had a high of 286, did drop down to 245, and it's starting to head back up. Sales are increasing, value is increasing for the set, for the booster box. Even though the set is not deep, there are some really nice cards in there, just not many of them, right? That Squirtle and Bulbasaur look amazing, paired up with the Charmander from Obsidian Flames. Really nice cards, right? The set is not deep though. There seems to be scarcity for the booster box, which may drive value up for the booster box itself in the long term. The set's just not that deep, but it does have some really nice cards in there. So if Stellar Crown is for you, if you believe in the Squirtle, the Bulbasaur, it is a great time to buy on eBay. It has been for, I would say, about a month to a month and a half, where eBay is offering up deals on top of deals for Stellar Crown. $230 here, $220 The Pokemon Center ETB is also selling for $105 there. So a pretty nice product to buy at the current moment on eBay. 226 with $7 delivery, $250, 235 on bids. So yeah, guys, still a crown. Deals all over the place on eBay. So keep that in mind for that. Next, Twilight Masquerade. What are the top booster boxes in Scarlet and Violet? I think it gets downplayed so much. Uh, and earlier today, someone called it a one-hit wonder because most people are chasing the Greninja. But that's the case for Silver Tempest. And that's the case for many other booster boxes out there that have still done well historically, even though they have one top tier chase in there. Even though they look past a card like the Eevee and maybe a few other cards like the Infernape, the Pinsir in there. Still some really nice cards in there. Now, are they highly valued? No, they're not. But there's still some really nice cards in Twilight Masquerade, and the Twilight Masquerade pull rates are not generous. Cards are still really, really hard to pull, but the Twilight Masquerade Greninja is still really, really valuable, and the PSA 10 value for that card is also really, really high as well. So the box still basically sits at $300. And I think in this next year, being that it rotates out in 2027 April, I think it's going to do really well this year. So don't underestimate this box. Once again, there is not that much of this product out there. Will we get a reprint? Who knows? So Twilight Masquerade, in my opinion, is going to do really, really well this year. Looking on eBay, we're seeing sales at $300, $320 there. 275 plus $50 delivery puts you basically at 291. Pretty close to market value on TCG Player. 277 on bids. This is where you can get lucky on eBay. But for the most part, we're seeing sales on eBay basically at market price or above market. But you can get lucky at times. So eBay still being the place to buy Twilight Masquerade. So keep that in mind. I don't see so much of this product available at all times. If we look on TCG Player, what's available on the market, we're seeing 404 boxes available. I think sellers are really, really trying to move this product, but we're not seeing waves of this product approaching. We're hearing nothing about it. Not even rumors are coming up about Twilight Masquerade being reprinted. So we'll have to see what happens in the long term. Next, Temporal Forces. The only thing that I've been hearing about Temporal Forces is the lack of product available in the market and the lack of printing that has been done for this product. We're seeing that we have 112 boxes on TCG Player at the moment. We do see very, very little of this product continuously appearing on TCG Player. It has been at around 100 to 110 boxes on TCG Player consistently, but this box is not appearing in mass. Even though the set value isn't incredible for Temporal Forces, I think once again there's a lot of doubt in this box, even though the art in this box is immaculate. And this box is incredibly deep, right? We talk about boxes like Paldea Evolved, maybe Paradox Rift. The amount of illustrations that are in this box are immense. This box is really, really deep. So I think there may be an opportunity for sentiment to change in the long term. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I think the Raging Bolt is amazing. The Ghastly is amazing. The Walking Wake is amazing. The Gouging Fire. And maybe some other cards like the Iron Crown is amazing as well. So I would not look past that box. I would not doubt it. $240 for Temporal Forces. $220 on eBay. $240 again with $13 delivery. $240 again, free delivery. $240 again. So we have a little bit of a discount currently on eBay. Boxes are really, really in really nice condition, in my opinion. So I wouldn't look past this set. I know that it's not the top tier set. I know everybody wants to buy Distant Rivals, but once again, the opportunities don't always arise at $240 for a booster box, especially in the current times, right? We're not in the times of MSRP where you're buying boxes at $90 to $160. We're not seeing anything remotely close to that. So keep it in mind. Moving forward, Paladin Fates running back up. The box was at basically $300. Took a nice dip to $230. Now we're back up to $263. The Bubble Mew putting in work, guys. Paladin Fates will go down as probably one of the more desired sets just because of that Paladin Mew. And the Paladin Fates Mew and the Charizard, the Gardevoir are really nice. The set's really top heavy, but I think those three cards are going to demand attention for a good while. This box will probably find itself back at $300, I think. Looking on eBay, we're seeing sales at $270, $10 delivery, $275, $12, $25 delivery. Heading back up to $300, we're seeing there, even on eBay. 250 with $10 delivery, basically $260. What else do we have here? We have another one at 250, $5 delivery, 247, $10 delivery. So we're still seeing boxes basically appearing here for $260, if not more. So currently on eBay, we're seeing same as TCG player prices, if not more. Paladin Fates seems to really be trending upward really quickly. So Paladin Fates is a big mover even now, just to start the year, and I think it's going to just keep going. Paradox Rift down to $235. Most recently sold at $225. Sales have increased in the month of December and the end of November, but the value of the box has not. I think the market overall sees that this box is worth $225. The market is not trying to spend $250 for Paradox Rift. Will the value start increasing for this box? At some point, it will. We only have 143 boxes currently listed on TCG Player, but the value is just not incredibly high for the sealed product and the singles inside the box. It just has not been increasing. So I don't think the market really wants to pay $250 or more for Paradox Rift. Looking on eBay, we do have a sealed case that sold for $1,500, giving it a decent sealed premium with the box currently sitting at $225 at $235. Not bad in reality for a Paradox Rift. The sealed premium has been a thing for many products, even though, like I said before, I don't really agree with it. We are seeing some sale at $242, $240, $240 on eBay. So on eBay, we're seeing that the boxes are a little more expensive than what we're seeing on TCG Player. Even though this box got sold with the acrylic case in really good condition, we are seeing sales at $240 for Paradox Rift. A little more than I would want to pay for Paradox Rift, but if it does happen to increase in value, it is what it is. The market will do what it wants to do. If the market wants this price at the current moment, then it will pay and it will buy. And people are buying at 240, regardless of what I believe. But I do feel like you will find this box at much more affordable prices if you look hard enough. Next, 151, the Elite Trainer box, was up at $400 for a little while. Came back down to $350, and it is starting to rise in value again. $376 is the current market price for the 151 ETB. It is really expensive in my opinion for an ETB, but it is 151. There are going to be a lot of people probably till this box completely is depleted from the market. I think people are just going to keep wanting this box. I don't see that changing anytime soon. It is the original 151, and Gen 1 is just where it's at. People love Gen 1. I love Gen 1. It's what started it all. I mean, I don't think there's any way we can complain about that. eBay is selling boxes at $380, $395, $385, $300, $380 here, $355. So the box is there, pretty close to market price. $360 plus $12 delivery, $500 here with this one with the booster bundle that is selling at $100 with the promo. I think we're really close to what we're seeing on TCG Player. On some cases, you find maybe $10 off, but in many other cases, you're seeing yourself or you're seeing people pay more than what we're seeing on TCG Player, if not matching what we're seeing on TCG Player, which is pretty insane. This box is once again taking leaps, and I don't think it's going to get any cheaper anytime soon. The start of the 2026 boom or hype cycle has already begun, and we're seeing it here with 151 and other items as well. The 151 UPC also, was above $600 for a little bit, had a high of $621. It is now up to $594 after having that dip. It dipped down to $550. It is now back up to $594. Most recently sold at $600. Not bad for the 151 UPC. Now, looking on eBay, we're seeing some sales a little more affordable, still really expensive at $530, $13 delivery, 587, 555 from Probestein Auctions, another one at 540 from Probestein's auction, but keep in mind there is a $20 delivery fee there. So pretty close to market for both of these, to be honest. Another one at 541 and another one at 530. Both auctions for Probestein again, but a $20 delivery fee, and can't run away from that. So you're not seeing many boxes that are selling here at a discounted price from eBay, but you do see some. So I guess if you're patient enough, you may find yourself finding a discounted price, but this is really expensive. I think that the price pool, or the people that can afford, the pool of people that can afford a product like this, uh, is getting smaller and smaller by the day. So not for me, in my opinion. Has already really taken off way too far. Obsidian Flames seems to have had a sale recently. That's why the page is taking its time loading up on TCG Player. The box is heading back up towards $300. It is up to $293 after it dropped to just $286. It's starting to head back upward, and once again, sales have increased in the last month. Nothing too dramatic though, but the box is heading up to $300. Once again, it will rotate out in April. It is in that block. It is the Charizard set, and Charizard is dead center of the box, and it did have that big hype because of the Mega Charizard SIR that we were getting for Phantasmal Flames, and it really drove up the value of this box, even though the set value is incredibly low. Set value is lower than base set. It's lower than Journey Together. It's lower than many other boxes, like almost every single one, to be honest. The box does not have much, so those that are investing in this product are mostly investing in Charizard himself and the scarcity of the product, because there is nothing else there for this set. But we are seeing sales on eBay above TCG Player value at $325 there. We have another one here at $325, $320 plus $10 delivery with the acrylic. We have another one here at $290 plus $10 delivery. Another one at $285 again with $8 delivery, and another at $290. So we basically are hitting market price. It is replicating what we're seeing on TCG Player, but in some cases, with a box, really minty with the acrylic above market value. And I don't think a box that's this minty, you can go wrong with, in my opinion. But once again, keeping in mind that Obsidian Flames doesn't have much in the set, you really are banking your money on just the hype of Charizard and the scarcity of the Obsidian Flames booster box. Next, I guess another sale here as well. Paldea Evolved, soon to become once again uh, the most expensive box in Scarlet and Violet, being that it's rotating out in April. Of course, there's a decent amount of illustrations within this box, and I don't think that you're going to be upset with this product. I think long term it's going to do well. I think it has enough hype behind it already. I think it has some really nice cards in there, being with the Magikarp illustration, which is amazing. Should have been an SIR. It's a beautiful looking card. The Tyranitar, the Raichu. It's just so stacked in there, man. Just trying to keep in mind all the cards that are in here is like insane. There's so many good cards in there, so many nice SIRs that are probably a bit undervalued, in my opinion. I don't think you're going to have a hard time moving this product in the future. Looking on eBay, the box is basically selling for the same exact price. And I'm not surprised. Once again, it will rotate out in April. It is one of the best booster boxes in all of Scarlet and Violet, especially with boxes like these looking this minty at $405. Another one at $300 on bids, but with $11 delivery. We have one here at $370 with $10 delivery. We have one at $420. We're not seeing this box get any cheaper. You may find this box for $10 off market price, but I wouldn't be so hopeful that I'm gonna find this box at such a discounted value. It just wouldn't make sense, honestly, with a box like Paldea Evolved. Next, we're gonna be looking at Scarlet and Violet base. I do feel the need to talk about Scarlet and Violet base because a lot of times, people want to talk about pull rates. They want to talk about gem rates. And as informative or educational some people sound, they seem to miss out on Scarlet and Violet. They seem to not have taken the time to educate themselves and look at the gem rates of the cards in Scarlet and Violet. When we talk about gem rates, the lowest gem rates in all of Scarlet and Violet are in this base set booster box. If you look at the Slowpoke, the Armarouge, the Drowsy, the Riolu, the Routes, if you look at all of those cards and more, we're talking about gem rates in the 9% range, 11% range, 12%, 13% gem rate. And for those reasons, cards that are valued at like $10, $15 have a like $300 return rate. Like that's insane. $300 at a PSA 10 for a $10 card. You wonder why. It's because the gem rate is so insanely low. And it seems like people forget that or just don't know because they haven't taken the time to do the homework. And you're seeing this box starting to rise in value from $218 at the recent low up to $231. And I think this box has a much more brighter future than some people think. I think that people write this box off because it's a base set box, maybe because it has Koraidon in the front and Miraidon. I think that it's really undervalued in comparison to so many other boxes because the potential of you pulling a card that you can PSA 10 at $300 or more than one, because you can consider that you're going to get at least 10 to 12 pulls out of a booster box. You can have multiple cards that will give you a very, very nice return rate. So keep that in mind. I think it really, really doesn't get talked about enough. Looking on eBay, we are seeing some discounted prices at $210, but other prices right around market price at 236. Once again, eBay fluctuates, right? 235, $240, 235, 230, $260. eBay seems to be ahead of the TCG player market price. It's more expensive than what we're seeing on TCG player. And I'm not surprised. I think that it's well deserved. I think that Scarlet and Violet based doesn't get valued the way it should. I think that, you know, people following hype and following what other people are saying really miss out on the potential of a box like this. Right. So that's something that I did want to shed some light on. Next, Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith has definitely started to take off in the last month. In the last month, it is up 10%. It was down to $200. It is back up to $217, heading upwards towards its all-time high, and it's justified. Crown Zenith is amazing. I know that people have price memory and and they remember picking up this box for $40 at some time in the past, maybe $100, $150. And then they talk about this box being printed to the ground or the set being printed to the ground with the Sea and Sky box. It doesn't change that every single day this box is getting ripped. It doesn't change that every single day we move forward, this product is becoming more and more scarce. And it doesn't change that the set is insane. This Crown Zenith set is so stacked. The amount of popular Pokemon that are in there between legendary Pokemon with the Giratina, the Mewtwo, Palkia, Dialga, Palkia and Dialga, um, the Mew in there, the Evolutions in there, Deoxys, um, just so many good cards in Crown Zenith that would make any other set so legit. It doesn't justify this box not taking off this year or in the long term. I think people really, really look past that. They like I said, once again, follow hype, follow what's being said. I think Crown Zenith is going to do really, really well in the long term. Not only that, this year alone, I think it's going to really, really take off. Looking on eBay, we did see some discounted prices, especially on bids at $187 with $18 delivery. Another one at $188 with $13 delivery. $190 $12 delivery, 220 with $11 delivery, 220 again, basically at market price with $11 delivery, actually above market with delivery fee, 185, $10 delivery. Yeah, once again, great product to have. Great for any collector, great for any investor. I think it's going to do really, really well. Crown Zenith is really, really, you know, undervalued in my opinion. And I rarely, rarely say something like undervalued because everything is so expensive. But for what I see in this set and the potential that I believe this box has, insane, insane. Next, Silver Tempest. I have been talking about Silver Tempest for some time. It has dropped down to $418. We did see some sales at 400 or below. We saw most recently sold at $385, which is insane for a box that could potentially have that Lugia, which is insane. We did see some sales in the past few days though at 475, 450, 440. This box may start increasing in value again. We don't know what's going to happen exactly, but the Lugia in there, I think it speaks for itself. It may be, if not one of the best, the best alternate art in Scarlet. I mean, in Sword and Shield. A great, great Lugia. It's amazing. I mean, I don't think anyone should be looking past it or doubting that card. On eBay, $445 on bids. 650 it says here. It doesn't seem like a legitimate sale though. But we're seeing 3 boxes here at $1,250. That's about $415 per box on bids with a $16 delivery fee. Not bad for Silver Tempest, man. That's a nice lot right here of 3 for $1,250. Really nice box. Like I said, once again, the Lugia, man. I'm a big believer in that Lugia. $430 for this minty box right here. $400 with the acrylic. So either way, even on eBay, we're seeing that the prices do correlate. We're seeing prices just as they are on TCG Player, and I think it's merited. I think that Lugia is going to be amazing. I think people are going to continue to chase that Lugia as we move forward in years to come, whether it be a rip and shipper or a collector. Lugia is insane. Love that card. Lost Origin has started to take off. It was at $650, and I really, really thought for a good while that it was going to start taking off, and here we are. The box is starting to move up towards $700. Even though we're not seeing an immense amount of sales, we're seeing big leaps between each sale. Lowest listed right now is at $750. Next after that is another one at $750. You're seeing not far from then another one at $760, another one at $775, and more, right? So this box, even though we're not seeing many sales, we're not going to have many required sales so that this box continues to take big leaps moving forward. So keep that in mind. The Lost Origin is going to start jumping as long as it continues to sell. On eBay, we have a sale as of today at $755 with the acrylic. Really nice looking box there. And once again, the box is moving, right? We see one here at $700 with $16 delivery. Even though this $700 sale is much more affordable, much cheaper than this one at $755, it is still above the market price value that we're seeing on TCG Player. All sales seem to be above $700. You see another one there at $705. Another one here at $760 with $17 delivery. Probably the only box that I noticed that was below $700, which is insane. This box is moving, guys. Lost Origin will probably be one of the biggest movers in 2026. Keep that in mind. Lost Origin, amazing set, great Giratina, great trainer galleries. Those Pikachus look amazing. I don't doubt this box doing really well this year either. Next, we're looking at Astral Radiance. Still not a desired box. We have seen some sales as the prices fell below $400 again. We saw a recent sale at $350, and I did mention it before. As people don't buy, people will start undercutting each other. That was actually loose packs, but either way, prices falling back down below 400 because boxes are just sitting. They're just sitting. People aren't buying. The set doesn't have the most desired Pokemon in there. It does have a nice trainer gallery. The Palkia looks really nice. The Dialga, the Starmie in there is really nice as well. But it really, really isn't enough to drive demand for this box. Next, Brilliant Stars has been getting talked about a lot, and for that reason, we're going to see boxes move. When you see that the internet has talked about this box so much, It just brings attention to this box, which is going to drive sales, of course. And with sales are going to come the increased value of the box. And I mean, I don't want to make it seem like I don't believe in this box as well. I'm just saying that once everybody starts talking about it, it's just going to drive attention to the box and it's going to sell more. But the box is a really nice box. The Charizard V alternate art is decent. It's not great in my opinion, and I think the market shows that because it's not that valuable in comparison to all the other alt arts in Sword and Shield. But the trainer gallery is immense. It is a great trainer gallery. It has some really, really popular Pokemon in there, and for that reason, it's going to continue to do well in my opinion. As of today, on eBay, Brilliant Stars, $450 for the booster box. Another one at $450 as of yesterday. Another one at $595 as of yesterday as well, with the acrylic, but with an ugly sticker right there, which I would have not bought that. I don't care that it has an acrylic. I don't care the condition of the box. I personally do not want that sticker on there. But we did have some amazing sales at $450. Whoever bought at $450, kudos to you. Great, great buy. We have one here that says $700, which is insane, well above market. Another one at $620, well above market as well. I think you can find boxes at a much more affordable value, $750. I think that you may be seeing some artificial plays. Some people don't like when I call something like artificial or manipulated. But whether you like it or not, it's a thing. It exists. And if I see something that looks odd, I'm going to point it out because it doesn't make sense for the market price to be at $500 to $550. But then you're seeing people buying boxes at $700. It just does not make sense whatsoever. Next, Fusion Strike was once at $1,000. And we're starting to see the sale of this box starting to increase with the value of the sales increasing as well. $870, $894, $952 as of today. $900 before that, $850, $850. Fusion Strike looks like it's going to start moving upward as well. We're not seeing an insane amount of value in the box increasing, and we're not seeing too many sales increasing as well because this box is just that expensive. So it's going to be hard to see this box move. The more expensive a product, as I always mention, the price pool of people, the amount of people that can afford that just diminishes. It's just so much more expensive. But we're seeing on eBay 1,000 boxes with the acrylic, 1,000 boxes, $1,000 with the acrylic, $17 delivery. Another one from Probostine at $967 on bids with $18 delivery. Of course, Probostine is a very, very trusted seller, which usually increases the value of the sales as well. $700 here with an acrylic as well, from someone with a zero positive feedback. Hopefully it's a legit box, but someone with zero positive feedback cannot afford to list this box at such expensive price because people won't, buy. Trust isn't there. We have another one here at $1,050 and another box at $1,000 here. So we're seeing on eBay more boxes being sold. Sales have increased in comparison to what we've seen in the last few weeks. $925 here. So the box is starting to move. Once again, just confidence coming back into Pokemon. Sword and Shield in particular, with boxes this expensive being bought. So great to see that. Great to see confidence coming back. Next, celebrations. A lot of talk on celebrations as of late as well. I even made a video about it because 30th anniversary is right around the corner, and there are just more and more people talking about it, and a lot of people believing that this box is going to increase in value like tenfold or something like that. But I don't believe that that's the case. The value of this box increased within the last year because the 30th anniversary was a year away. So with the value of the box basically doubling in the last year, I don't think it's going to do that much more because celebration is already appreciated in value with the anticipation of the 30th. So I don't think it's going to grow that much more in value. I think that there are other people out there that may be saying that it will. But at the same time, I think those people are holding celebrations and they want the value of their celebrations boxes to increase. I'm not trying to name people in particular, but I have seen people holding celebrations that are continuing to say this box is going to be a clear winner this year, and I think that they have, you know, a reason to do so. Looking on eBay, we're seeing sales at $225, $18 delivery, 230 with $20 delivery, 245, $6 delivery, 235, and 225 basically with $15 delivery, 235 with $12 delivery. We're basically market price. Um, no discounts on eBay for celebrations, so the prices pretty much correlate. But it is a great collector piece. I'm not gonna lie, having an anniversary piece is great for any collector. If you are somebody who just enjoys Pokemon, it's a great piece to have sitting on your shelf as a display. Next, Evolving Skies. We're starting to see Evolving Skies move. Uh, in the beginning of the year, of course, we saw 10 boxes sell, which is insane. In between the 30th of December and the 1st of January, seeing 10 boxes sell at above $2,000 is a lot, guys. That's $20,000 in a span of 3 days. And then the next 3 days, 4 more boxes sold. So almost $30,000 in a span of a week for Evolving Skies. Insane, guys. Insane. I mean, it is considered to be the best booster box ever created, the best set ever created. I mean, we can't doubt that it is an amazing looking set. It's so stacked, and it probably will do really well, especially in the next 5 years. Probably something similar to what Team Up has done. I don't doubt this box whatsoever. It is Evolving Skies. It is just really, really expensive and out of the price point for about 99% of people involved in the hobby. As of yesterday, a box sold for $2,600. There was another sale on eBay for $2,000 as of yesterday as well, with the acrylic, which looks really, really nice. So a $600 price difference there between those two. Another one sold here for basically $2,500. Not in bad condition either, pretty good condition. So we're seeing Evolving Skies move even on eBay, $2,500 here, $2,500 again as of yesterday. So I already was looking at these sales, and Evolving Skies is moving. Even at that price point, people are still willing to just stick their money in Evolving Skies and be believers in it. It is a top tier product. It is the blue chip item in Pokemon right now. I think it's a great, great product to have, and I think it's going to do really well in the long term if you can afford to have this box. Next, Chilling Reign, right? Chilling Reign. I've spoken about this box as well. $400 was a great time to buy. We're seeing the box climb up to $483. Most recently sold was $560. 577 before that, 577 again before that, 580, 534, 510, 507. So this box has been clearing $400 for about a week and a half now. Nice to see the box finally start moving. I think the blade skin is really nice. I think the whole set overall, with the alternate arts that are in there, are really, really nice, with the Galarian Moltres, the Zapdos, the Articuno, which I really, really like a lot, and just other cards in there that I think people look past. I think Chilling Reign is a really, real cool box to have on display. On eBay, Chilling Reign has had some sales in the past few days. This was today at $461 on bids. Another at $470 on bids. And this is what I mean about the display. How many boxes do you see with this color right here? Like, you can tell Chilling Reign a mile away. Really, really amazing displayable item right there. Another one at $525, $10 delivery. And yeah, guys, we're seeing that the box is moving. $495 on bids, $15 delivery. The box is no longer selling for $400, And, I do talk about Chilling Reign being such an amazing displayable item because of the color that it has. And I know that some people don't see it that way, but in the future, when you want to move this box, even now, people that are buying now, you have people who are just collectors and want to have these as a display item, and that will be a factor to the people you want to sell to, and that matters. So keep that in mind with Chilling Reign. Next, Battle Styles. Battle Styles has had, in the last about month and a half, sales have increased as the price has dropped down to $225. is back up to $235. Battle styles, man, the Sleeping Tyranitar looks amazing. The Empoleon, in my opinion, looks amazing. Even the Urshifus in there look really, really nice. They're just not popular Pokemon. I get it. But really nice art in battle styles. But we don't see it really, really taking off. You would have to really wait years down the line for this box to just get more scarce and scarce, and really have the scarcity play a factor, so that you can actually see this box really appreciate in value. Maybe people will start looking at the Tyranitar differently and start looking at the box overall as a set differently in the long term. We don't know what sentiment will be like 3 to 5 years from now, but you will have to wait that time if you want this box to appreciate in value. Next, same case for Vivid Voltage. Box is at $251. It did drop down to 230 to 240 range, but it is back to 250 where it was for a good while. Once again, this box has no alternate arts. I make sure to mention it every single time we talk about this box. All you have is the Rainbow Pikachu, which is not that valuable, but it is a Pikachu set, and that alone will probably drive some value in the future. And once again, you'll have to wait 3 to 5 years to see some potential appreciation in this box, and just letting the box become more and more scarce as time moves forward. Uh, but guys, that is the last set for the video. I hope you guys found value here. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, guys, we are seeing somewhat of a resurgence in the Pokemon hobby in all of the sets, both in Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield. So it is a nice time. It is a great time to be looking at prices. I love, just analyzing the market. Um, but let's see what happens in the next month and a half. Ascended Heroes will be in play, and we'll have to see how things change. But yeah, guys, as always, I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace.